All right, what is going on, Outfunders? We are doing this mid-morning. It is 11 a.m. Eastern time. First time going to the new time frame for the kind of like midweek recap. And we're not really seeing a whole lot of activity. If you kind of notice, Friday, we're kind of continuing up kind of the same kind of choppy pace that we had going. A little bit of acceleration here over the past 10 minutes. So, all right. That's kind of how the day is going. A little bit of gap down this morning. Nothing crazy. We haven't really gotten any big time data today either. So how the Qs doing? Qs are actually kind of positive. They did have a slight gap up. Qs are about 0.25%. SPYs of about 0.1%. IWM down 0.5%. Nice little gap down here also. Just rolled down. Yep. Continuation from what we saw last week. The DIA though, wow, nice little gap down here, and then yeah, it got on its horse here over the past hour, and looking pretty good actually. Currently positive, slightly but positive, and the RSP gap down sideways. Price action looking pretty good here. All right, not looking too bad. It is negative, but a little bit of gap down, kind of sideways price action. All right. Let's check and see how the RSP is doing on the daily. So, yeah, we're not showing a lot of strength here, but we did have some pretty good, strong bearish moves second half of last week. So, we could definitely just chop sideways, and then maybe we break that down. I want to say, let me check this real quick. Low back on May 30th of 162.68, and then the low on Friday was 162.69. So we did not take out that low from May 30th. And if we just kind of chop sideways, I'd imagine the moving averages eventually come down, push it down. So maybe that happens later in the week here on the RSP. So we'll have to just kind of watch that. The DIA kind of just holding a little bit stronger. I mean, it had such a strong breakdown there towards the end of May that a lot of the other ETFs did not have. IWM continuing in that bearish direction. Okay. Yeah, just continuing bearish. That gap up that we had last Wednesday, that was about the only thing that's like really kind of threw you off with that, but it wasn't looking good before, and it definitely wasn't looking good after. So Qs continue to, just ride the rocket ship, just kind of doing its thing. Money continues to pour into big tech. That's about all you need to know. Continuing to help hold up the SPY as well. SPY doesn't look too bad. Looks like that thing will continue up eventually. Let's take a look at the heat map real quick. So AAPL, continue to see money to flow into AAPL. There's been quite a bit of money flow into AAPL ever since they got ever since they did their AI event, WWDC event, I guess last Monday, June 10th. And basically, that afternoon, AAPL did sell down a little bit, but man, the next couple of days, it just really kind of took off there. And there's been some investors come out and say that, that's going to be a pretty good catalyst, but I don't know. I dispute that. Doesn't mean the stock's not going to run, right? Just because you don't think it'll be a catalyst for the company and their fundamental picture doesn't mean the equity side won't run. Just take a look at GameStop and AMC, right? So it is what it is. It's kind of like let it ride. For now, I believe this thing is at all-time highs. Absolutely it is. So yeah, it could do almost anything up here. Just let it do its thing. Tesla's also running pretty hot today, up 4 2/3%. AVGO's up, looking pretty good. So AVGO might be in a nice little bullish go for now, as they announced their stock split coming in July 15th. So they announced that last week at their earnings. So they just might be in a little bullish run here, kind of like how Nvidia did, right, when they announced theirs on their earnings, and then just absolutely just went on a run up until they did that stock split and continued to run after. But I wouldn't be surprised if Nvidia started to see some bearish action come in. A lot of those people Bought Nvidia before the stock split, started selling out and taking that popping liquidation profit. And then TSLA looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. Nice gap up last week. Sold down there Thursday, Friday from that gap up. Okay. And then, yeah, nice pop. Nice bounce today. Very strong. Yeah, right on the open, people were buying it up. All right. So take a look at the VIX. VIX, nice little gap up there. Typical for Monday. Not really showing us a whole lot right now. Dollar, kind of just hanging out. Basically flat, not really doing a whole lot. GLD, pulled back slightly, not really doing a whole lot. 10-year yield bouncing a little bit. Okay, I'm kind of curious. It was running pretty good this morning. Before we even got data, I don't even know what kind of data we got this morning. I don't think we really got anything crazy. Yeah, we didn't really get much of anything. So it was moving this morning for about 2 hours, almost 2 hours straight. But the breakdowns it's had here over the past 2 to 3 weeks, it's going to take time. If it starts to turn bullish, it's going to take time. 10 to 2 inversion, just kind of hanging out. We're trying to bounce a little bit, but not breaking down, not really skyrocketing either. HYG bonds, a little lower today, a little lower. I would say if it breaks these two lows on June 10th and June 7th, that Friday and Monday, I mean, you're definitely looking for a move probably back down to this level on May 29th. But I only bring that up because it is kind of moving that direction. It's getting closer. Okay. LQD, nice little pullback right on top of the 10 EMA today. Okay. And then we got the TLT pulling back right to the tops here that we had early June. Not really quite to the 10 EMA, but you're probably looking either, yeah, I mean, if you're not, I mean, if yields have turned over and you think their yields are kind of in a downtrend, you're probably looking to be bullish here. You're probably looking to be bullish. And Brent says sell TLT puts, and that's a bullish play. There you go. Sell TLT puts. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense to me. I would collect premium somewhere around the 93, maybe 92.5 area. That makes sense to me. Take a look at sector performance. Not really going to be able to see it as clearly as I normally do. So I usually look at it on a 3-minute. Might just be looking at a 1 minute from now on. But we got here the sector rotation. Discretionaries makes a lot of sense. TSLA leading the day over there, up 4.5%. So that makes a lot of sense there. Tech being bullish just makes sense. Just staples and industrials kind of in line together there, outperforming. Energies, financials underperforming, as well as materials, healthcare, communications, utilities, and real estate underperforming. As far as intraday, discretionary is looking pretty good. Staples, industrials doing pretty well. Financials, energies doing pretty well. Underperformers, healthcare, materials, real estate, tech, utilities, and communications. What's interesting is tech is actually underperforming intraday. So outside of that gap up, you see XLK there underperforming.